Good evening, people. Welcome to another edition of the Midnight Hour with Dr. Denz. Please sit back, make a joint, fill a pipe, and unwind. Relax with Dr. Denz. Now here we go again. I'm going to carry on with me bit of my life story. Me Dr. Denz take the high road. Now, last time I finished off with, me and my friends just discovering the wonderful world of cannabis and its magical effects, and where it led us. It led me on many interesting roads in my life, years and years of interesting times I've had just through this simple little herb. You know what I mean? The pleasures and wonders and magical journeys this little plant can take you on. Right, back again. We left off with me and my friends, me and my friend, good friend Bob, people like that. We used to buy as weed. This is when we first started. We got into it and we started to buy it. This is one of the first times. Now, as main choices back in, we're probably talking 1980, 86, I'm going to say, something like that around this time. And we started buying things like 16s and 32s. Now, back in the day, we couldn't afford an ounce. We were kids. We couldn't afford stuff like that, so we used to buy 16s. Now, back in the day, an eighth of ash used to be £15. A 16th, £7.50, and every now and again we'd probably get a fiver together and buy a 32er, which were a minute little bit, but as choices, back in the day we had stuff like Rocky, we had obviously as Rocky, all as t-shirts, used to be covered in boulder burns all the time. You know yourself, people out there. Now, especially the old casuals out there, you lads that used to wear your, your Australian Alpina and your Tashini and your feelers. Terrible for boulder burns. I know myself because I was into all that stuff. So I know myself, all my tracksuit jobs were covered in boulder burns. Weren't authentic if it weren't. But yeah, things like Red Lab, Salt Bar, Mirror Bar, Slate, Sputnik. Now Sputnik, I think it's called now, and I think a lot they call it now is 00 or something like that. But good stuff. Now, we didn't have skunk, there were no such thing as skunk bud, things like that. Well, no, I'm sure they had it. I'm sure they had smoked flowers in many places of the world, but back where I were, it rashes. Now on the bush side of things, we got Thai now and again, bit of Thai bush, and also African brick. Used to come in a brick, a solid brick, and you snapped it up. It had its seeds in it and things like that. But these were the beginnings. This is how we first started, getting into it. But yeah, so them journeys we used to, get round to each other's bedrooms. Your mum, what you doing up there? Your mum, what you doing up there? Oh, no, mum, we'll be down in a bit, don't worry. And we'd all be huddled up out at window, tooting away, out at window, blowing it out. So, yeah, happy days that. And I'll get Bob on a video one day. I've known him a long time. I went through junior school, infants, juniors. I worked with him, and he still comes round now. He still partakes in the medicine. So I'll get him on a video one time. But yeah, the stories we had, we used to, it got to Scarve in school. Every games, I think I were a lazy bastard, and every games, me and Bob, and a Pilch and a few other lads, we used to run down to Bob's house and fucking blaze it up with his little bit of ash we had. Funny thing is, I got me end of year reports. Denzel, Dr. Denz, B, doing very well. So I got better results in my PE and games when I weren't there. So what point of going? I might as well be at Bob's house blazing up. But yeah, obviously, you know, the red lebs, I can remember red leb were beautiful later on in my days. I mean, I'll get to this later on. We used to get, you know, big pounds of the stuff. And I can remember red leb, I used to have to rip it out of an Hessian sack and rip it all off, and it was all stuck. So a lot of time I used to get a big pot and brew it. But I'll get to all that. That was later on in my life. But at these points, you know, we were just discovering different things. Not long after discovering cannabis, we discovered other things. Now you've got people that say, you know, it's a gateway drug. Alcohol was my first drug, and then this. So, but this, forget anyway. I'm going to that. I'm just gonna speak normal about my life. Yeah, we started discovering other things. Now, one night down at Bob's house again, we were sat in his bedroom and we were smoking away, quietly away, hiding it away from his mum and that. And Bob said, "Here, check this out. Look what my sister's got." Now his sister Wendy was a bit older than us, and she was going with a bloke who was in a band called Filth Patrol. Now, funny story. One at lads of the Filth Patrol is now on Emmerdale. I'm not going to mention any names, but he's now regular on Emmerdale, and he used to be in a big band, a bit older than us. Anyway, Bob says, "Check this out that my sister's got here. It's a boyfriend." He had a jar with 1,000 mushrooms in. Now, me and Bob had never had a trip, never done anything like that in his life. And he said, "Shall we have it?" And we said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, come on, let's try it." And I don't know what, it was bonfire night if I remember that rightly. And like I say, we were just getting into cannabis, so we weren't bothered about all bonfires, and we were more into just having a smoke. But I can remember we offered them out, 500 each, we counted them all out, these little dry mushrooms, we offered them, and he goes, "Well, what are we going to do it?" And I can remember, I said, "I don't know, I'll just stick them in his mouth, get some pop." And that's what we did, and we were chewing on all these mushrooms, and they didn't taste very nice. And that was his first trip, 500 mushrooms, and it certainly worked. I can remember sat in his bedroom, and on stereo we were listening to John Michel Jarre and Vangelis, and I can remember it was really weird because we were both hallucinating the same things. We were both watching pink luminous lines coming out to beat to music. We were both sat watching, listening to music and watching speakers. I said, "Are you seeing that?" He says, "I fucking am, yeah." And it was just pink, bright, vivid, luminous pink, luminous blues coming out to rhythm at music. And we were loving it. As first trip, it was just, ecstasy, a real mind opener, right, enjoyed it. And then, an hour into sitting there and laughing and, giggling and watching, listening to music, Bob says, "Oh, I'm going to go to the toilet, like I need a piss." And I said, "Yeah, right, yeah." I'm sat there, and then a minute later I thought, "Where's he gone?" I just heard Bob going, oh my god, oh my god." And I thought, "Oh, fucking hell," proper tripping at this point. And I thought, "What the fuck's going on here?" I walked into Bob. Now, Bob in his head were imagining that he couldn't stop pissing and all his insides and stuff were coming out. Now, when I looked at the toilet, what I saw was thick black tar bubbling. Bloop, bloop, and I looked and I thought, "Oh, fucking hell, fire." I said, "Wow, Bob." He goes, "You're going to have to go, man, you're going to have to go, my head's going." And I said, "Fucking hell, Bob." I said, your mum and your sister are downstairs." And at this point, you've got to think, I'm probably 14-year-old at this age. I said, "Wow, Bob," I said, I can't go past your mum and your sister like this." I said, "I'm off my fucking tits." He says, "You've got to, man, you've got to go, I've got to get my head down." So I said, "Right, let me get my head in gear." And I'll never forget it, never forget my first I can remember walking and I said, get to the bottom of the stairs, and his mum and sister were sat in front of him. And I said, wait, hold on, let me sort myself. And I can remember taking a breath, wait. I said, right, go. And I opened the door and I looked in and they both said, I said, right, I'm going now, see you later. And I walked out and fucking hellfire, I managed to get out, blagged it, you know. And I can remember walking home, and I'll never forget it to this day. There was a bloke in front of me, and what that bloke must have thought, he must have thought, well, he's just cracked about behind me. And I can remember walking behind him, and with movement of his arms naturally, as he must have been walking, and his head going up with his step, to me, tripping, he was flapping like a bird, with his head, top of his head here, were coming up and down, separating, and I were behind him going, pissing myself, absolutely in hysterics I were. And I can remember bloke, his face, I can remember him just going, looking at me, kept looking over his shoulder. They'll say, what we're now, we're just a fucking absolute mess behind him. He must have thought, who's this crazy guy? But I can remember getting into my house. Now this is obviously the first time my parents, I don't know whether they knew or not, because my dad were an old jazz man, you know, so he dabbled, did me father, you know what I mean? He liked to party a bit, did old Denz. But I can remember walking into the front room and my dad was just sat there, I don't know what time it were. And I got my coat and just threw it on the floor. And my dad goes, what are you doing? He says, don't leave your coat there. I said, well, what do you want me to do with it? Throw it outside? He said, no, it'll smell of bonfires. He said, hang it up in pantry like. And I fucking hang it up, and I can remember, I said, right, I'm going to bed, and I turned round and looked at my dad, and I'm not jesting you, he turned to liquid, melted in front of me, and I just looked at him like that, and he just appeared back, and I just said, I'm going to bed, and he looked at me weird as I was saying, I mean, you know, when you think back now, I'm a dad myself now, you know, I've got a 23-year-old daughter, so you can imagine your child coming home like this. Now he looked at me weird and I said, I'm going to bed. And I can remember being in bed all night, on my own obviously, absolutely pumped up on mushrooms, massively tripping, farting with my wall. And I can remember, now my bedroom wall, between mine and my sister's wall, was a plywood wall, so you bang on plywood, it's bang, 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 bang. And I went, fading away, and then I can remember my mum coming, she said, what? Doctor, what are you doing? Obviously didn't call me doctor, but I'm not going to use my real name. Doctor, she said, what are you doing? Oh, I said, it's nothing, Mum, it's nothing, don't worry about it. And it was the craziest night of my life. And one of the finest nights of my life. Because it kicked off many wonderful nights on mushrooms. Now, I'm lucky where I live and where I grew up. We have lots of countryside and we have magic mushrooms growing wild. We used to have it growing on a school field. I can remember sometimes when we were young, you know, teachers going, what are you doing? No, and we were picking mushrooms off school field. And it just grew, it grew, naturally all over the place for us. So it got to points where we were having, mushrooms daily. And I can remember going up to this place, Ringstone Crescent it were called. Bloody hell, I can remember with a few lads, Bob again, his cousin Pete Dubber we used to call him, Opie Dubber. There were Pilch, Everett, Cocky, a few lads. And bloody hell, Pete's Ringstone Crescent was a bit of a rough place it were back in the day. Council houses, and there were a lot of trouble going on, And I can remember one night, we would come back on bloody acid. And his mother and bloody new boyfriend were fucking at it, shagging away on path leading to house. And we come up tripping, what the fuck's going on here, you know what I mean? It were absolutely bonkers times. Now I'm going to wrap it off in a minute, I'm going to finish it off. These are just my beginnings of enjoying, not just cannabis. I've enjoyed an whole variety of things, But yeah, this one point they were, I think me, Bob again, I like Cockett, Pete, and we went up an hill called Pendle Hill. Now, Pendle Hill is a very old hill, and you know, it's all renowned for old witchcraft and things like that. Now, it's just short of a mountain, is Pendle Hill. And me, Bob and Cocky, we were there. Oh, and I think Noddy, my good old friend Noddy, I think he was there as well. And we went bloody marching up Pendle Hill, tripping his bollocks off again on mushrooms. And we plodded about a bit on top. Had a joint or two, and then for some crazy reason, now there's a path that obviously winds back down because it's near enough a mountain. And for some reason we said, oh, we'll go down front face, sheer face, you know. And we set off, and we were like that, going down on our backs, slowly away. And next thing, fucking Bob. And now on acid, this were fantastic, we're brilliant. But he come legging it past us, is Bob. And it's like, you know, when you see on cartoons and the legs are going faster than the body, you can't see. He come legging it past, I can't stop, lads, I can't stop. And we were like, oh, what the fuck, tripping? And he started obviously falling, tripping. Now, we stopped at this point and watched him. Oh, it's one of the funniest, it was a nasty accident, but one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Bob, he fell about 350 foot. And he kept bouncing and disappearing, coming up. Different shapes, different disappear, and we were like, where's he gone? Different stuff, and he fucking bounced, and he must have bounced up in different shapes. You know, a good 10 times, and we were like that. We had tears, we didn't give a shit whether we were alive or dead or not. We were in hysterics, we just had tears rolling down his faces with him. Pissing himself. And we said, fuck, when it disappeared, oh, fuck, what are we going to do? Is he fucking dead or what? Anyway, we set off, and we got there, and he was a fucking crumpled up mess with blood everywhere, and this was like, you know, 2/3 of the way down, and still a fucking quarter of a mountain to go. Now, I've always been a lazy bastard, me, and I said, oh, shit, what are we going to do? We need to find mountain. There's no mobiles in these days, you know what I mean? These were, you know, you shout, bit of smoke signals, and I said, shit. I said, there's a farmhouse at bottom. I'm going to have to run down there and get them to Fort Mountain Rescue. And I legged it to the bottom of that bloody hill. I was fucked. I was absolutely knackered. Fuck him up there. I didn't give a shit. I just needed to collapse. Anyway, I got down there and I said, please, my mate's fallen down front. Please, can you ring an ambulance? Can you get air rescue, whatever? And he says, yeah, but I'm not running back up there to help him. And I thought, oh, you bastard. I had to leg it back up again. I was absolutely fucked. By the time I got there, Bob sat there with his head between some bird's leg. I don't mean, you know, after. But bloody chilling out like that, with a stroke in his head, blood all over him, having a bloody fag. I said, you bastard. I said, I'm in worse condition than you are. Anyway, they all come, bloody job lot, full mountain rescue come, took him off, wheeled him off. So, his first missions on magic mushrooms were brilliant, hectic, and bloody hell, really, really funny. Happy, happy days. Right, people, I'm going to wrap that chapter up. That's chapter number 2. In the Take the High Road, the life of Dr. Denz. And that's the days, my early days of taking mushrooms and things, discovering the fine life, the mind-altering effects of mushrooms. Right, people, thank you very much. I know it's a late hour again, and thanks for tuning in and thanks for joining me. I hope you feel a bit calmer, a bit more relaxed. And I hope you sleep fine. Okie doke, people. Sleep well. Good night.